just lately I published an article that I want to speak to you about it. It was looking at how the Rolfing, which is the thing that I'm doing most. Rolfing is structural integration of Dr. Ida Rolf. That thing that I told you about, that is a 10-session series that is aligning the structure to be as straight and as not only as straight as possible, using the central axis of the structure in order to eliminate specific pressure on specific points that create afterwards pain. So I compared that method, the structural integration, to the Alexander technique. Anybody heard about the Alexander technique?
Yes,
you did.
I have.
Well, and the subject is really to explain something about a word that I don't know how to say in English. I call it in Hebrew, ifshu. It's making things possible. Enabling. So it is about the way that different methods are enabling the client, and I can't say a patient, it's not a patient for me. For me, my clients are both patients and students. They are always learning something. Now in Alexander, what are they? Alexander technique. There are patients, there are students, what are they? They are pupils, they are talmidim. They are learning to use the Alexander way of thinking in order to organize their structure better and not to have pain, just very much like what I said before about structural integration. But what is the enabling factor there? It is a thinking, it is a thought. It is a thinking about the relationship between this compartment to the rest of the body. That's all. Just think about it in the right way, and then you will create less pressure on the vertebrae, on the discs, and therefore on the nerves. So the enabling factor is thinking. Do you know what are they thinking about? They're just saying there is a mantra. Just let the neck be free, to allow the head to go forward and up, to allow the back to lengthen and widen. That's all. That's what you need to think before you do something like sitting. Because if you don't, you will sit like this, you will get up like this. In these two ways that I'm doing it now, I'm contracting and compressing the spine. And that's what Alexander found out, that this is harming, and this is why he lost his voice each time he was starting to speak. In the theater, he was a speaker in the theater in the 18-something, when there were no mics. I also understand very much the same, that we do need to keep the spine long. But the enabling factor is totally, it's not totally different. There is another one, another level of enabling. The first one is teaching, like in the Alexander method. Only she's not focusing on this, on the neck arch. She's focusing on the lower one. But it's more or less the same. Doesn't matter where you start, it's all combined, it's all one thing. But the other enabling factor is a touch that is opening adhesions in the fascia. What is fascia? Anybody knows? Well, let me tell you, the doctors did not relate to fascia until the last 10 years. I heard myself a lecture from a surgeon that was teaching people to become surgeons, that they were talking about it as disposable. You cut it, you throw it, you don't relate to it. Nowadays they have researchers, it's the most in thing in medicine to research about fascia, the functions of fascia, what it means, what it does, what's the function. Fascia is, first of all, what is wrapping the muscles. That thing, that layer of thin shakuf, how you say shakuf? That you see in the meat before you do anything with the meat, which looks like nothing. But this is what is keeping the shape of the muscle, which means this muscle that I'm now contracting, if the fascia that is wrapping it becomes short, it means that my shoulder will be up here. The fascia will define my shape when I'm in a relaxed mode. I can always stretch it, but who wants to be stretched all the time? When, the minute you let go, it will come here. Yeah. Opening adhesions on the fascia means to change that fascia that became short because of wrong use. I will not go into it, why we do it, but we really actually open it so that suddenly your shoulder that is always here is there, and it goes on the minute. It's not by thinking many, many years, it's on the spot. That's the level of enabling that the ROFing, structural integration of either ROF, is doing. All right, so what do I need from you? I need from you to be able to explain to people that when they come to me to have these kind of sessions, first of all, that it is a teaching thing with a great enabling factor, a double enabling because it is teaching and opening adhesions. Second of all, that it doesn't cost so much as it sounds, because 400 shekels is a session cost, but they get back 177 shekels, so it's not so much. And it is for life, because like the Alexander technique, this is teaching you something for life. It is a life-changing thing. Third, well, where are my clinics? In Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, in Sarigim, which is the Bet Shemesh area. And third, know that really what I'm looking for are students. I'm teaching this stuff, the structural integration. I just heard yesterday from a graduate of mine. She was working on someone who had the scoliosis with 38 degrees. It's not very big, but it's not low. And after the 10 session series, they measured it again, and it reduced by 10 degrees. I had that for many cases. About 10, 11 degrees we can reduce in teenagers. He was about 16 years old. So just know, scoliosis, there are many, many small children that have it, and it can be treated, but outside of the usual refuah. They don't know how to treat it in the refuah. They only know when it's really bad. Send them to us. So I need students who want to learn more than what they already have. There is nobody else teaching ROFing in Israel, as there is nobody else that is teaching the Traeger approach, which is the other part that I'm doing. Now, how many minutes I have, I don't know, but for those minutes, okay, I'll just explain.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes, that's great. So, that's my added value. Somebody here was talking about his added value. As a Traeger instructor, I give an added value to my clients and to my students, because I'm also an expert in teaching about how to release. It's not enough to be straight and symmetric. You also need to be able to absorb the potential support of the earth. If I'm just holding my muscles like this, even though that I'm very straight, I'm in a complete misuse of that potential support of the earth, and I'm misusing my energies. And I'm becoming stiff. So if I want to be flexible and strong, flexible and not losing my line, flexible and very directed to my goals in life as well as in the body way, I need also to learn how to use available support. Right now, we all are sitting or standing on something that can support us. Are we aware of the support? The Traeger approach is teaching that. I have a small film that I just put on my Facebook because in Pesach I gave a workshop in the desert about that subject, the Traeger for daily life. How anyone with any job that you are doing in your life can use that approach in order to live your life in an easier way without holding muscles unnecessarily, and how to release your muscles in a movement like that. Any questions? Yeah.
If someone is suffering from a condition, he doesn't want to come for 10 sessions, just he needs mashu right now.
Yeah.
Is that a good referral?
Yeah,
as well?
sure, of course. Well, I started as a massage therapist, and I'm teaching also massage. People can come to have a massage before wedding because of a birthday, or just for tachzuka, maintenance, and of course for specific problems. Sometimes we can help them. The thing is, sometimes I can help somebody, and he will feel wonderful for a few days, and then the problem will come back, because most problems are not just because you fell, but because something is accumulating. Thank you very much.
Or something like that, like what physical ailments do you solve?
Good question.
Exactly. So the point is in what I already explained, that this is a teaching. So some people really don't want to learn anything. They just want that the problem will go away, and the best thing is to take a medicine for that. If you see somebody that you see his way of posture, that is bad posture, probably he already knows about it, and you know that you have an expert to help him about that, and it will connect to the pain.
So posture
So
related.
posture.
Posture related.
Anything related to
Very
Exactly.
good question.
how someone carries himself.
Okay,
Yeah.
but you can see that.
Yeah, but not everybody gets pain from the posture. It's a difficult thing, but yeah. Thank you very much. Good question, Nicole.